Hi, everyone. Well, which one are you? Are you the clingy one or the distant one? Or maybe in one relationship you're really clingy and someone right now is after you and you're really distant. You ever wonder why that is? Well, there's a dynamic at play that's involved in every single relationship out there because, frankly, none of us have been taught how to have relationships. We don't take a single class on it. So we watch our parents, and they weren't taught either. And this dynamic is prevalent in every single relationship. It's been in every one you've been in, it's been in your parents and everything. All right. And basically, what you have is codependency. And but it's something called love addiction and love avoidance. Now, don't get caught up in the term addiction. Everybody does. It's a big buzzword of, oh, I don't want to be an addict. We're all addicts. Every single choice you make is just a chemical reaction of your body craving a certain feeling. And so you listen to a certain song, whatever it is. So don't worry about that. Call it milk and cheese, all right? But don't let that deter you. Here's what's happening. The clingy person is the love addict, all right? And their primary fear is abandonment. Now, their subconscious fear is intimacy. Now, the avoidant, their primary fear is the exact opposite, intimacy, while their subconscious fear is abandonment. So what you have in this dynamic is the clingy one, the addict, we'll call them milk, if you don't like the word addict. They see the avoidant as having all this power. Usually the avoidant has special characteristics, at least to them. They're hypersexual, they're incredibly good looking, they're smart, they make a lot of money, they're very high in their profession. So they see them as this super person who's going to rescue them from the abandonment they suffered when they were younger. Now, conversely, the avoidant loves the addict because of all the attention. This is primarily a power position. All right. They love all this attention and the adoration they get, but only to a point. Have you ever had this happen where you're loving all this attention, all of a sudden you just feel claustrophobic, like, oh my God, this is too much. When are they going to, they're calling too much, they're texting too much, leave me alone. And so what do? They all of a sudden get too involved in their work, their outside interests. Maybe they have an addiction, but something all of a sudden pops up where they're too busy for the addict. That's their intimacy fear, all right? They're freaking out. So they turn their back, basically. They run off to do other things. Well, the addict chases and chases and chases because for a while there, they were engaged. Like, where did this perfect person go? Well, eventually, they drop into reality and go, this person isn't there. Maybe they fought and they're exhausted, so they turn around and they start getting back into their own life. They go quiet. Well, what happens? All of a sudden, the avoidant, at the beginning, they're like, oh, thank God, they're leaving me alone. I can breathe. But then one day they wake up and all of a sudden they send a text. They make a phone call. They show up with flowers and they go, I'm so sorry. You're so right. It was selfish of me. I'm so wrong, right? So the addict turns back. Oh my God, there you are. See, I knew you were perfect. And they have a brief period where they come back together until now they may get fears of intimacy. And this dance goes on and on. Every single relationship client I ever deal with, this is the dynamic. It's something I struggled with. I'm both. Like, a relationship with me is pure chaos because I struggled with both dynamics until I learned how they work. So what you always have with the distant person is someone who's massively afraid of intimacy, but also deeply afraid of abandonment and vice versa. The fear of intimacy is because they were enmeshed with as children, all right? Their parents gave them too much time and attention and lots of other things that I won't get into. So it feels suffocating when they get all this attention. Conversely, this side was abandoned. Now, I suffered both. That's why it's chaotic. You can also have people switch roles within the relationship. So it's a very deep and intense subject, but I have great news for you. This book by Pia Melody will literally change your life when it comes to relationships. You're going to read this and you're going to see why you picked everybody you've ever been with. It'll blow you away, and you'll see how you operate in that cycle as well. Now, the part she doesn't go into is what causes all that. Well, then you have this book, mine, all right? I go into deeper detail of how that plays out in our life and why we are attracted to these type of people. So that's what's going on. Neither person is bad, or neither one's better than the other. Just because this one's called an addict and this one avoidant, they're both suffering from the same issues. They just do it in polar opposite ways. Now, these issues, again, don't make the people bad. We just haven't been taught. We don't have the information. So this is how every single person, every relationship out there operates. If you want to break that cycle and start attracting and start looking for somebody different, go read these 2 books. Get the information so you can see how it's operating in your life. So anyway, there's a little bit about it. This is really deep and intense. So if you have questions, send me an email. Maybe I can pull out a section of the video and do a special one just on that, if that'll help you. So anyway, have a great day.